Well, hello, and welcome to a special edition of the Just Your Average Crusaders podcast. Tonight, we have a recording of the Republican social that I had worked as a caterer. So basically, while I was flipping a room, I had this tucked up under a door, so that way you guys could hear a portion of this. Well, I'll let you be the judge of what you think it is. I'm going to try to leave this as uninterrupted as possible. And if you do like this kind of content, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, hey, thumb it down. It all helps us in the end, and we do want to try to be a true and straight channel. So without further ado, here is some of the audio that I pulled from this Republican social, basically a convention getting ready for the primaries coming up in Springfield, Missouri, and the surrounding Missouri area.
You know, while the American dream burns brighter now, its embers smoldered dimly not long ago when our borders were wide open. Chaos reigned. Inflation crushed hard-working families. Input costs were putting our farmers on business. And here's a dirty little secret. We fully funded ICE through the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's funded for 4 years. Woo! But the Democrats have cut funding not for ICE, because it's funded, but it's been cut now because of this partial government shutdown for TSA, FEMA, the Coast Guard, cybersecurity, putting your lives at risk. And I don't see that lightly. The Democrats had no vision, no leader, and no message. You know who does have a vision, a leader, and a message? Your Republican congressional delegation. Eric Burleson, Ann Wagner, Bob Honor, Jason Smith, Josh Hawley, Eric Smith, and myself. We are all working hand in glove with President Trump to wage war on your behalf, on the American people's behalf, to right the ship, to get us going in a new direction so there will be America tomorrow. As chairman of the Oversight, Investigation, and Regulation Subcommittee for the Small Business Committee on Capitol Hill, we are rooting out waste, abuse, and fraud. Like what we saw in Minnesota. It was shameful. Helping the new SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler decentralize the Small Business Administration and relocate SBA offices to places like Springfield and in the 4th Congressional District. Getting it out of the swamp and getting the capital and the counseling to the small business owners, those creators, the makers, not the takers in America. This Congress, I'm also very honored to be on the House Appropriations Committee, where we are tightening the purse strings. Yes, we are making cuts in spending, not to the level that I would like to see them done, but we are making some progress. We're slashing funds for woke nonsense and pouring resources into border security and deportations, law enforcement, and our veterans. No more handouts for the illegals. Your tax dollars are for America first, and Eric and I are going to make sure that's where they go. We cut spending and funded President Trump's America First agenda, and we did it all in a clean, straight process without backroom deals and a bloated year-end spending bill like Nancy Pelosi used to have, the big omnibus, the Christmas tree omnibus. The federal debt at more than $38 trillion is the single greatest threat, I think, to our nation. For too long, so-called leaders in Washington have paid this grave threat nothing more than lip service. With President Trump back in the White House, conservatives controlling the House, Republicans leading the Senate, those days are over. We are going to cut spending in Washington. Americans are starting to realize the benefits of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the working families tax cut, reconciliation, whatever you want to call it. It has the same effect. And I'm so proud that Jason Smith, the chairman of Ways and Means, really led the way on crafting this reconciliation package, and that your delegation voted to pass. The IRS, how many of you have filed your taxes already? Your returns? Good. Look for a big check coming your way. The IRS just reported that tax refunds this year are 11% higher on average than last year. I got a call, our district director, she's gone now, but Becky, she was here earlier, you may have met her. She got a call from our somebody, a guy named Melvin from Benton County in Warsaw area. He was ecstatic. He was 76 years old. He could hardly contain himself. He was talking to Becky about this issue. I worked in the office this week one day, and I called him back and I said, Melvin, how you doing? What's going on? Congressman Alford, I have to tell you about this. My daughter, who is a hairdresser and works on tips, and her husband works on overtime, they just got a refund check for $12,000. It's the one big beautiful bill that is making our families stronger, our economy stronger, and families like Melvin's are feeling relief for the first time in years. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, lower taxes on Social Security benefits, increased child tax credits, tax incentives to buy American-made cars. Resurgence is here, folks. Mourning in America is not just a memory from the Reagan era. It is a new reality in the Trump era. Thank you. Last week the House proudly passed the Save America Act. It may have been 2 weeks ago. I kind of lose track of time. The Save America Act is a common sense, vital piece of legislation to make sure our sacred elections are secure, to restore the unshakable confidence in our democratic process. This bill is quite simple, folks. It requires proof of U.S. citizenship when you register to vote, and a valid government-issued photo ID when you show up to vote on Election Day. Simple measures that make sure only U.S. citizens decide our races in America. And guess what? Those of you clapping right now, you're not alone. 83% of Americans agree with this. This is a no-brainer. Even a lot of Democrats think this is the way we should conduct elections. It's not about suppression. It's not racist. It's not Jim Crow 2.0. This is just common sense that we have been longing for. And the House has done its part. You heard Mark Wayne Mullen talk about it. You heard Eric talk about it. It's now time for the Senate, frankly, to do their part. And Leader Thune needs to put the Save America Act on the floor. And if he has to get rid of the filibuster, so be it. We have got to pass this for America. Here in Missouri, we're not waiting. Our Secretary of State, Denny Hoskins, has cleaned up the voter rolls in Missouri. He kicked off more than 200,000 people who should not be there, 50,000 dead people. Thank you, Denny. And we already have voter ID in Missouri. So if you are going to vote in the Show Me State, show me your ID. Speaking of statewide office holders, I want to thank Governor Mike Kehoe tonight, our steadfast principal leader who's fought tirelessly for the Missouri First map. You may have heard a little bit about that. That map protects our values. It makes our districts more compact and fair and positions Republicans to gain another seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, to tell you the truth, I really don't like going from an R25 down into an R9 seat, but I don't mind a good fight. And we are going to win this seat, and the new person, whoever that's going to be from the new 5th, is going to fire Emanuel Cleaver, and we are going to have a 7-1 map in Missouri. Republicans in Missouri, though, face some real challenges. The left's relentless attacks on our freedoms, attempts to undermine our maps through referendums and lawsuits, and the ongoing fight against radical policies that threaten our way of life. But folks, we meet challenges not with fear, but with faith. faith in our principles, faith in our people, faith in the promises of this great republic, and faith in God Almighty. So folks, I'm here to tell you tonight, we cannot rest. We must unite like never before. We must unite to turn out the vote. If we do not, listen to me closely, if we do not retain the majority in the U.S. House of Representatives, come January 3rd of next year, Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker of the House, and everything will be about the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. And you don't think we get anything done in Congress right now? We will lose all of our gavels. Jason Smith will lose his gavel on Ways and Means. Sam Graves will lose his gavel on transportation infrastructure. It is not a recipe for success in America. We cannot let it happen. So folks, I want to tell you here tonight, let's run. Let's run hard. Let's run hard on what matters most to Missouri families, protecting our children from the radical agendas in our schools, from the predators at our borders, from the sex traffickers, from the fentanyl pushers, from the body mutilators, from the abortionists, and from a culture that seeks to tear down our families. Let's run hard on protecting our economy by eliminating the state income tax. By continuing to slash regulations, unleash energy, both from underground and above the ground, using Missouri corn and soybeans. Let's protect our farmers, the backbone of Missouri, by supporting family operations, incentivizing the next generation of farmers, and protecting our land and quit selling it to the Chinese. In Congress this year, we have another important thing we've got to get done. We've got to ban stock trading for members of Congress. John Crawley has a bill called the Pelosi bill in the Senate, aptly named. I have a companion bill in the House. Eric, if you haven't signed on to that, I would appreciate you signing on to that. Look, we didn't go to Congress to get rich. We went there to serve you. And if that means I've got to sleep on my couch in my office, that's what I'm going to do. As Jared mentioned, we also need to pass a health care bill that returns the money and the power to you, not the greedy insurance companies. A health care package that has transparency. So when you go to a hospital to get a hip replacement, you know what that's going to cost. And you can shop around for that coverage and that procedure. You can make informed decisions. As chair of the Real Estate Caucus of Capitol Hill, we're also working on restoring the American dream through home ownership, especially for young families looking to build long-term equity. Folks, these are not just issues. They are the battle lines for the soul of America. And on these lines, we will not yield. My fellow Republicans, I've said it before and I'll say it again because I really believe this to be true. I do believe that our best days are still ahead of us. Not behind us in some faded memory, but there is still hope. And we can turn it around, but it's going to require each and every one of us working. We have weathered storms before, from the trials of Lincoln's time to the challenges of our own, and each time we have emerged stronger, prouder, more resilient, and more united. Tonight, in this very room, I see a Missouri Republican Party united for the fight ahead of us. I think Senator Mark Wayne Mullen did a great job explaining why it is so important to unite and why it is so important to put petty differences behind us, including where to pause when we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah. I don't quite understand that, but I saw it today. I'm like, okay, whatever. So tonight, let's go forward together with optimism, resolve, and most of all, unity, with the unshakable belief that this is still the greatest nation on God's green earth, and Missouri is its heartland. Finally, It is an honor of a lifetime to serve you in Congress. Each one of us has our districts. I know that. I represent 772,047 individuals. I've got that number printed in my office, on my hats, everywhere to remind me that I'm a servant leader. It's not about me. It's not about Eric. It's about you and the people we represent. Thank you for sending me there to be your voice and your vote. If you ever come to Capitol Hill, and I hope you do, I hope you come to visit your delegation there, I would love to take you to Statuary Hall. How many of you have been there? Oh, it's gorgeous. There are statues, that's why I love Statuary Hall, that are all around the circumference of this beautiful room. It used to be the original chamber for the U.S. House of Representatives. It's that very hall where on January 31st, 1865, Republicans, with very little help from the Democrats, voted to pass the 13th Amendment to the Constitution that abolished slavery. So on that same floor where years earlier Abraham Lincoln once sat as a U.S. Congressman from Illinois. And if you go there just off the weathered marble floor that has some undulations from 200 years of footsteps and common pathways, there's a wooden double door on the back end. And Eric, you've been in this room. It leads to what is now called the Lincoln Room. It's where then Congressman Lincoln would go to rest, reflect, and pray. And in that hideaway, next to a small fireplace, is hanging this quote from Abraham Lincoln. My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side. For God is always right. My fellow Republicans, as we move together in unity to win the midterms, we must, listen to me closely, we must do so by aligning our purpose and our will with God's purpose and God's will. We must be open to hearing His voice and not just the voices on social media, so that we can also be certain of an everlasting victory. It's so good to be with you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight. Love you guys. I don't mind saying love you guys. I say it all the time. We can do this. We can keep the House. We can send more Republicans and conservatives to the State House, to the Senate, and we can show America that it is built on one thing. And when I signed off the air 4.5 years ago, after being at Fox 4 for 23 years, I said these words: everything that I have told you in the 23 years I've been on the air is about one thing, and that is the truth. Because the truth is the only thing that matters. Remember that when you're out knocking doors and stuffing envelopes, that you are on the right side, the side of truth. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you, Congressman. We have done very well on time, so I'm going to do something a little off script. I want all the young Republicans that are here to come up in front of the stage for us. We have quite a few young Republicans. Yeah, you can give them a round of applause as they come up. You know, I know from my own personal experience with them, they work really hard on a lot of our campaigns. These are guys that are and gals that are going out and doing a lot of door knocking and doing a lot of the work on our campaigns. Go all the way across if you would for me. So we're going to take a family photo today. So I'd like for all of you to stand up as well. And I've got a selfie taker because I'm not a young Republican anymore and I don't think I'd be very good at it. But you guys face this way. You guys all stand up. We're going to take a photo together. Okay. Everybody. We may have to do a panorama. I don't know if you can do that. Is that technically available to you on the phone? Okay. because it's a selfie, right? Oh gosh. I thought that these guys would really... Okay, everybody ready? Everybody smile. Wait.
Yep.
Look happy. Technology. Got it. Here, one more. Thank you all so much. Everybody give another round of applause for our young Republicans. We're going to close the night out with Tim Garrison. Thank you, Tim.
All right, we are going to sing our benediction together like we did last night, but I have one order of business before we do. Kent Scissor, where are you? Kent? Okay, over here. Okay, there he is raising his hand. My name's Tim. So, let me introduce you to my friend Kent Scissor, who I just met. Kent Scissor is a longtime conservative activist. He is a co-owner of a well-established family business. He is a candidate for St. Francis County presiding commissioner, and he is the chair of the St. Francis County Central Committee. And today, Kent has a milestone birthday. I won't say how old he is, but around 7. And so, while we're in a singing mood, we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Kent. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kent. Happy birthday to you. All right, has it been a good drinking days? Well, as we did last night, we are going to finish in a word of prayer in the form of a song. You all are the builders. You all are the watchers on the wall. And I thank you for that, for what you do to preserve our country. But Scripture tells us in Psalm 127, Solomon writes, unless the Lord built the house, they labor in vain who build it. Unless the Lord watches the city, the watchman watches in vain. So in that spirit, let's again sing God Bless America. I think some of you learned last night that there's actually a verse before the chorus. But this is a solemn prayer, and let's now invoke the blessing of God on America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America.
I mean, I don't mean to be a cynic, but damn, this is what they're thinking about?
Through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America. All right. Yeah, good to see you too. Good luck. All right, very good.
There you have it, friends. A Republican social gathering, not sure what to call it, out there at the convention center. It was awful empty, is the first thing I noticed. You would think, as popular as Trump is supposedly, that place would have been packed, especially since I'm in a red state out here in Missouri. I mean, you'd think there'd be Trump all over the place, but no. In fact, what has happened is I haven't seen any Trump signs in any of the yards anymore. I don't see any more Trump merch trucks on the side of the road. I don't see any more stickers in people's cars about Trump 2028 or anything like that. It seems to be that even though the people around here are still like, haha, yep, great, go Trump, because all of your politicians are clearly that way in this state. Not so much the case overall. I think the tides are turning. I think all of the new stuff coming out is definitely proving that, nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. They want it the way that they can see it, but that's not the way that it's happening. I can see the way that they can see it, but that's not what's happening. Like I said, there's also a video on my channel showing some of all the empty seats and the almost empty hallways. It's, guys, don't let them fool you. They're losing and they know it. They want it to be a certain way, but that's not the way Trump is doing it. We all know it. We got to stop him. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe if you like it. Thumb it down if you don't. Thanks for your time. Have a good night.